we've established both the Christian and architectural significance of the Pantheon. What are we to do about the crypt and the artistic significance of it?
Bah! This Prime Minister has no royal blood. He is not a part of the Savoy family. He does not belong to me, next to my relatives, the great Vittorio Emanuele II and Umberto I, the first two real kings of the United Italy. My great-great-grandfather, Vittorio Emanuele II, united Italy in 1861, as it hasn't been since the days of the ancient empire. He alone brought together the warring cities that composed our great peninsula for several years, for several centuries even. It was my great-great-grandfather who was responsible for forming alliances and increasing the power of Italy, our home country. He was the one who reclaimed Rome from the French in 1871. He earned his credit in Pantheon through years of dedication to his home country until his death in 1878. And also, my great-grandfather, Umberto I, also earned his grave in the Pantheon. After assuming the title as king in 1878, after his father, he continued to unify our land and lead our country out of the Dark Ages and into the 20th century. He gave his whole life to Italy until the day he was brutally assassinated. What has this Prime Minister given us?
I agree. In the Pantheon, the tomb of Raphael, who was long considered a great artist of Italy, and whose genius converts all of Rome. There's many examples of him in this wonderful city. Other major artists are Giovanni da Udine, Perrine La Vega, Annibale Carucci, Taddeo Zaccari, and Baldassare Peruzzi.
The Prime Minister has not dedicated nearly as much as these people or to their countries. He has no right to be buried next to them.
I agree. The Pantheon is a favorite meeting place for Romans and for visitors of Rome. The apocalyptic traffic games that we all get involved in every day, which are just a hassle, the punctuality of Rome is threatened, and we already have a reputation of being late. The slightest incident can make you a half hour late. Others arrange to meet at the Pantheon. We cannot destroy this monument. It's in the heart of a lively neighborhood. People wait, they sit, they live in the past, they live in the present, and they need to live in the future, in the center of commerce, in the culture, politics. It's all at the Pantheon. Rome's historical sense is different from that of many other cities, and which is why it makes it such a great city. It cannot be sacrificed to the altar of its own beauty. It cannot. So many places become a lifeless museum dedicated to the past. But this place is a living monument. It deserves in the present, and it deserves to be in the future. Some museum pieces prevent the impoverishment of life in the traditional urban communities. But Rome is not traditional. We are amazing, and the monument is a meeting place, a refuge. It's amazing in itself. It cannot stand in splendid isolation. Its mystery only gives light and meaning. The Piazza della Rotonda that is circled around is the narrow cobbled streetways that we have all over Italy. But from stray cats to fashion shops, it's illuminated by all of this grandeur. One traveler once said, the Pantheon attributes its essential characteristics to things and the idea that they have for themselves and their people. The Pantheon is part of their people.
I mean, that's why when the filmmakers came in here about angels and demons, we did not let them take that window that they could just smash into pieces. It's our history. It needs to stay there. They cannot just wreck this building.
With all of this information on the table, let's take a recess and think about it. We need to come to a final decision and vote on it. I agree.
Thanks, Duran. We'll be right back after these messages with more on the Pantheon controversy. This is your Channel 7 News Network with streaming updates to keep you in the loop. tuning in. We have broadcasted exclusive footage of the Pantheon debates and are awaiting the committee's final vote. Gibran is standing by to keep you updated.
Already it looks like final decision time. I've personally come to the conclusion that we must keep the Pantheon as an active church. Ever since it was built, the Pantheon has been used as a place of worship, whether it was pagan gods or Christianity. Plus, in today's world, the Pantheon is a popular place to attend masses and have weddings.
The Pantheon still needs to be involved in the community, though. The people surrounding it and who partake in its everyday activities should be celebrated, encouraged, and shared with the rest of the Pantheon's admirers, during appropriate times, of course. The Pantheon lives in its people, and the Italian people live within it too. Therefore, the Pantheon should be given to the people. We cannot exclude them from this monument.
I think the Pantheon should be preserved as it is, with all of the current artifacts that are still intact. Over the centuries, many of the marble features, sculptures, accents, they have been removed from the Pantheon as the purposes has changed. We should maintain what is already there and prevent any further changes, with, of course, the exception of careful restoration. It should remain open to the public so the locals and the tourists can visit and admire this wonderful preserved piece of Roman architecture.
Agree. As for the crypts in the Pantheon, we will establish several rules. Candidates must be important persons nominated by the public by popular vote. These candidates must be deceased for at least 10 years to be considered, and a committee made up of government officials and elected individuals will then give the final decision.
All those in favor to all things proposed by everyone in this meeting, please say aye.
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 Thanks, Gibran. This concludes our coverage of the meetings concerning the Pantheon. I'm Rhonda Maroon for Channel 7 News Network, always keeping you in the loop.